Today, we're going to dive into a poem that kicked off with an idea that was, for its time, just completely radical. You. We're going to unpack Walt Whitman's Song of Myself to see how it blew the minds of 19th century America and why its message still hits so hard today.
Okay, so it all kicks off right here with these lines. And you gotta understand, back in 1855, this was an unbelievably bold way to start a poem. The spotlight wasn't on gods or kings or epic battles, it was on the self, just a regular individual person.
So, the big question is, who writes something like this? To really get to the heart of Song of Myself, we first need to understand the man who wrote it and the revolutionary new tools he had to invent to build it.
All right, so to get this poem, you first have to get the man himself, Walt Whitman. And let me tell you, he was not your typical stuffy 19th century poet. Not even close.
You see, Whitman didn't get his education from some fancy university. Nope. His classroom was the print shop floor, the chaos of a newspaper office, and the open road. That trip he took across America in 1848, it was a total game changer. He saw the real country, all its messy, beautiful diversity, and it completely reshaped how he thought about everything, especially poetry.
He basically looked at the poetry of his day, all these super strict formal styles from Europe, and thought there's no way this can capture America. How could it? The US was this huge, sprawling, energetic, kind of chaotic place. He knew he needed a whole new language for a whole new world.
Okay, but how do you actually do that? I mean, really, think about it. How do you make a poem sound like an entire, sprawling, democratic country? Whitman knew he couldn't just follow the old rules. He had to throw out the playbook and invent his own poetic toolkit. His biggest, most famous move was to go all in on something called free verse. He basically took the rulebook for rhyme and meter and just tossed it. I mean, how could one single, rigid pattern ever hope to capture the voices of millions of different people? It couldn't. He wanted his poems to sound like people actually talking.
Yeah, just listen to the sound of that. It's so relaxed, right? It's conversational. It feels like you're just listening to someone's thoughts, not like they're trying to force words into a box. This was a complete revolution. And remember that trip he took? To get that huge, epic feeling of America into his poem, he used this amazing technique we call catalogs. It's pretty clever, really. If you want to write about a massive country, why not just start listing everything in it?
And that's what he does. He creates these long, incredible lists of people, places, jobs, animals. It's his way of trying to scoop up the entire American experience and put it on the page. He was basically saying, hey, you belong in this poem, and so do you, and you over there, you belong here too.
But okay, if you get rid of rhyme and a strict rhythm, how do you stop the poem from just falling flat? It still needs some kind of pulse, right? Well, Whitman created this incredible, powerful, rolling rhythm by using repetition. Specifically, a device called anaphora, which is just a fancy way of saying he repeats the same words at the beginning of lines over and over again.
You can just feel the power building there, can't you? That repetition creates this amazing momentum. It almost sounds like a sermon or some ancient epic. It's a rhythm that just pulls you right in.
So you've got this poet who's breaking all the rules. How do you think the world reacted? Well, when Whitman dropped the first edition of Leaves of Grass, which had Song of Myself in it, the reaction was, to put it mildly, explosive.
You have to picture it. It's 1855. The world of American poetry is, well, it's pretty prim and proper. And then this book just lands in the middle of it all. Calling it a splash is an understatement. It was a tsunami.
And people did not know what to make of it. The reactions were completely black and white, no gray area. On one side, you've got Ralph Waldo Emerson, like the biggest intellectual celebrity in America, calling it a work of genius. And on the other side, you've got the famous poet John Greenleaf Whittier, who was supposedly so disgusted he literally threw his copy in the fireplace.
So whether you loved it or you wanted to burn it, everyone agreed on one thing. This was something brand new. This wasn't just another poem trying to sound like it was written in England. This was 100% American, for better or for worse.
So, when all the smoke from the controversy clears, what's left? What is the one big idea at the heart of Song of Myself that makes us still talk about it today?
Well, it all comes back to a line from the very beginning. Remember how it starts with, "I celebrate myself"? The genius of it is that it almost immediately pivots to include you. It's called Song of Myself, but really, it's a song about all of us.
And that is the poem's most radical, most powerful idea: empathy. The idea that deep down, at the level of atoms, we are all made of the same stuff. We're all connected. The self isn't some isolated thing. It's huge. It contains everybody. That was a profound message of unity back in 1855. And in a world that can feel so divided today, well, it feels more important than ever.